Men who ejaculate less than 21 times a month may have a higher risk of prostate cancer. Sounds shocking, right? But this claim actually comes from a Harvard-linked study that tracked thousands of men over several years. Researchers found that men with more frequent ejaculation had a lower rate of prostate cancer diagnosis compared to those with lower frequency. Now, before you panic or start counting calendar dates, here's the important part. The study showed a connection, not direct proof that ejaculation prevents cancer. Doctors still say the biggest factors for prostate health include regular checkups, exercise, healthy eating, managing stress, and understanding your family history. And no, science does not say men must be polygamous or cheat to stay healthy. The research included all forms of ejaculation, including within healthy relationships and even masturbation. So the real question is, how much of what we hear online is science, and how much is personal opinion mixed with headlines? Watch till the end for the full breakdown of what the study actually says and what many people are getting completely wrong. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive into health, relationships, and the facts behind viral conversations.
Thanks for staying with us. So you've heard from the audience, and now it's time to hear from the man who started this conversation. He's the Chief Medical Director of Heritage Men's Clinic, and he's here to address the comments and questions earlier. Welcome with us, Dr. Rashid Abbasi.
Thank you so much for having me.
So,
thank you.
Before I even ask any question, yes. Uncle, are you having sex 21 times a month?
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Yes. Yes. Okay, so now, can you explain where that number comes from? Is it based on research, or is it just recommendation based on your own practice?
So let's face scientific facts. This is not Dr. Abbasi's point. Yes, I trained at Yale, I trained at Harvard, all that aside. This study was done close to 20 years now. We need to ask ourselves why we're facing certain things that were not there, even in the history of medicine. Why are black men dying of prostate cancer? That was the genesis that led to the study. By the way, the study was not done by men. It was all done by female researchers at Harvard. And they put it in tiers. A man that ejaculates less than 4 times a month, he has 33% chance of prostate cancer. That's not Dr. Abbasi. That's not negative wishful thinking. Then they went further and they realized that 18 ejaculations to 21 ejaculations above decreases that chance. That's what led to this. Why? The theory behind that is what is called stagnation theory. Every cancer, again, go and Google it. Breast cancer, ovarian cancer, prostate cancer. When we diagnose this and we look at the cells, we see toxins. Toxins that could have been flushed during ejaculation. And these toxins come from everything you and I eat, everything we're exposed to environmentally. But then, let's step back. The human body, for a man, sex is a physiologic need. It's women that deals with the emotions. A man that has sex regularly, we're not advocating at Heritage Men's Clinic just sex. We say love making. Because in the reality, when a man that is visual sees a woman that he likes, his body acts like microwave, 0 to 60. The woman, on the other hand, is not like that. She's an oven. You need to preheat her for her to get to that point. So when a woman enjoys love making, she gives you 21 times.
So you said that you believe men are wired to be polygamous. Sometimes It sounds like a personal belief, but can you point to the research that says that men are actually wired to be polygamous?
Okay, so for all audience, for every one of us here, men and women, we're wired to function with 2 hormones. Women are estrogen, men are testosterone. That's number 1. However, the good Lord gave men estrogen as well, and he gave some women testosterone. That's why you and I can see some woman, and you can say, oh, I think that's a man. When you see her, then you realize phenotypically she's actually a female. Sometimes you might even hear her voice, and it's dipping like a man. It's because she has an abnormal level of testosterone. And so we can see that in some men. Here is the issue of the biological polygamy for men. A man will continue to make testosterone until he leaves this earth. My 92-year-old patient still makes testosterone. One of the functions of testosterone is morning erection. Guys, if you wake up and you don't have a morning erection, nobody is doing you. Your testosterone is low. And when you wake up and you don't have a morning erection, you are likely going to have a power failure when you are with your woman. But women, when they reach menopause, they stop producing estrogen. So now you tell me, you've been married 20-something years, your wife is now in early 40s. Because in Nigeria, this data we have here, we see women who are getting into menopause in their late 30s, early 40s. When a woman loses estrogen, her body dries up. She's not going to be easily turned on the way you were doing it 20 years ago. She has a child or two. The priority are those kids. You are no longer number one. So she's not going to give you that 21 times. Tell me what you want the man to do, and his body is still producing testosterone.
What are you therefore implying? That a man should have a side piece? I don't understand. Am I hearing right?
No. So again, let's go back to the scientific fact. This study that came out needed to address how can a man make that 21 ejaculations. So they gave men 3 options. One of them is masturbation. I know most religious organizations will say no.
My pastor is here, please calm down.
Scientifically, we discourage masturbation because it can lead to addiction. Not only that, on the other end, we need to ask ourselves, the sale of vibrators has gone more than 8,000%. So some people are buying it. That's not Dr. Abasi. That comes from the study.
Later.
So that's one option for men. The second option is pornography. Almost all religious organizations will discourage that. And the third option is polygamy, or you have a side chick. That's what got us into trouble now, because my sister did not like that.
I don't understand. But okay. My question therefore is,
yes.
Who is giving you 21 days in your own personal life?
No. So
do you have a side piece?
No, that's a fair. No. I have side chick. That's a fair question. That's a fair question. So when the study came out and I did the interview, my wife was supposed to pick me up at the airport like she normally does, because I'm based.
Silence, please.
I go every 2 weeks. So she picked me up and she's like, "What's this?" Because you have to also understand, like somebody had mentioned, it depends on where you are in your marriage. The kids are grown. She's in the military. So we don't even stay together. Even if I'm not coming to Nigeria every 2 weeks, it will be physically impossible in that situation.
Okay.
But then I don't want to drop dead, or I don't want to start using
catheters. You will
catheters.
not drop dead now. There are people here that are in 30. Somebody said a 95-year-old man did not do it in 30 years. They lived.
My sister, let's face reality. I just left the clinic now just for full disclosure. We're seeing more and more Nigerian men coming in with Foley catheters. This is not us. They cannot even go to church with that. They cannot go to mosque with that, because they wake up and they're unable to pee.
What's Foley catheter?
Foley catheter for them to pee.
Oh, yeah.
Because their prostate is enlarged. Look, even if they legalize polygamy in Nigeria, not all men will do it. So I'm not prescribing that for everybody. But let's face scientific facts. Let's face data. You need to be able to deal with stagnation theory. You know, the other part of the study that women are not talking about, the study that was aborted, a woman that gets her body touched in certain ways, because I know it's daytime show, she avoids what they call sexual cancers in women: breast cancer, ovarian cancer, cervical cancer. But nobody is talking about that. If we flip the coin, if women were the one facing prostate problem, and they said one of the options is increased sexual activity, we're not going to be having this, because women are more resourceful than men. We're not going to be having this.
Okay, let me throw it. I think a few people want to ask a few questions. I'll allow 2 questions from the audience. There are lots of murmuring. Anybody want to say 1 or 2 things? I'm hearing. Okay, Laide, can you pass the mic to my sister in front? Where's the microphone on that side? I need the microphone. Oh, you guys are needing it there? Okay, I think there's a mic behind you.
Yes.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, ma'am.
I don't even really think I'm going to ask a question. I'm actually going to tell you something. I'm 53 and divorced, and I said it on our show one of the days that it doesn't mean I've been celibate, because nobody me kill Jesus, and I must be serviced, because Konjina bastard, right?
So,
it's a money show. I'm using Konjina, you get it. But the point is that, like you said, if you don't get touched sexually, that's why we have a lot of lady bosses that are always cranky. When they're nasty, we say it all the time, this one ain't getting none. Because if she was, she for don't release.
Absolutely.
So the stress would not be packed up.
Okay.
You get it? And also, when they talk about religion and they say, oh, masturbation is not good and all that, there are other things that are not good that we do.
Absolutely.
If I don't have a sexual partner and I have bullets and I have vibrator,
Hey,
I will use
idea.
them
Absolutely.
because it helps me release
Okay.
and reduces my risk of cancer. Because when you tight things to chest, it starts building up in you. So I recommend touching yourself.
Hey, please. Thank
And
you.
knowing yourself intimately.
Thank you. You see, that's the problem with family members. Echo Mama story. Anyhow, please, take it easy. It's a live show. See, we don't want to have the wrong perception here. And that's why we brought a medical doctor to tell us the researched, give us the research data on what we're discussing. So we have to wrap up with you, Dr. Abasi. But because I know you are Harvard trained, and I worry about all these research that come out every 5-10 years. They'll tell you, don't do this, don't do that. And I wonder, you know what, I don't care, I'm just gonna live. So for us, I'm tired of all the data, but in a nutshell, what's your final word to men and women when it comes to the health of their body, when it comes to sex?
So yes, we have to be mindful we're in a society where it's culture and religion, we have some limitations. But we are sexual beings. Let's remember that. Once you get into marriage, sexual activity actually drops. That's not Dr. Abasi, that's the data. Your body as a man needs sexual activity. Your cardiovascular health needs it. We sit too much, we need to be moving. When you have good love making, your heart rate goes up, blood is pumping. When blood moves, blood doesn't clot. That's not Dr. Abasi, that's scientific fact. When your body releases endorphins, which it does when you get a woman to climax or a man releases, endorphins are nature's way to lower your stress level. They decrease cortisol. So you don't go off on your woman unnecessarily because she's asking you for some things. And you don't mean to do that intentionally, but because you are building up all this stress. And yes, exercise can do that, but exercise will not get you to that level. They did all that. Exercise will not get you to that level. And again, lastly, we should remember the stagnation theory. You want to get rid of toxins. The easiest and natural way is this ejaculation.
Okay, thank you so much. That's all we can take on this very uncomfortable topic. I think my personal space was like this. I'm like, I know I'm going to get a query.